Alright, part 3. We're going to go through 3 different things. We're going to go through map markers, we're going to do placement radius of objects, and the get in nearest waypoint. Um, First of all, map markers, very easy. Click on F6. That enables you to see map markers. If you are in any of these other categories, you cannot see the markers. So double click or click on F6 and then double click over here. Now, we want an icon, so let's go ahead and put down a warning. Let's make it red, and let's just say map marker 1, and it's gonna read watch out, and hit OK. There we go. So now when we're on the map, we can see that it says watch out. Now notice how if I switch away from F6 from the marker, I cannot see it. It also means that if you can't see it and you copy something like this, let's just for shits and giggles copy it over here and add markers again, we can now see the watch out here. So be careful when you copy paste. I have copy pasted maybe 100 units and I all of a sudden have 100 markers, so just remember that. Okay, very easy. You can do all sorts of things with this. You can go into rectangle, let's say 100 times 100. Let's do horizontal and red. Oh yeah, obviously. It doesn't actually matter the name unless you want to use it for a trigger. But there we go. Now, watch out in this area. That you get the gist of it. You can play around with it. Okay, so that's the first thing down, map markers. Now, another very good thing to know and to learn is the get in nearest waypoint. Now, what I mean by this is, let's say that these terrorists here want to set up a roadblock or something. They want a 50 cal to be placed here. Problem is, we can't just place down a 50 cal with someone in it. So we have to go to units, obviously, double click, go to empty, go to static. Where the hell is static? Go to static, and let's pick the 50 raised NATO. Here we go. So now you can see the object here. Oh, quick tip: if you hover over it, left click and hold down Shift, you can drag the rotation around here. You can drag the object around. Okay, so we want a guy for shits and giggles in the middle of the road. But notice how it's an empty object. I cannot tell, or if I click preview right now or play the mission, it would be empty. There's no one in it. So how do we get someone to go in it? All right. Well, first of all, let's copy paste the dude. Okay, he's standing behind it. So far, so good. But we can have him enter this by a waypoint. So let's double click, and in the type we say, oh shit, we say get in nearest, and we drag this over the top of it. So what happens is he spawns, he gets a waypoint, get in nearest object. He sees this object because that's the nearest object there is, gets into it and stands there. So far so good. This can be done with any sort of vehicle that is static, or not static, that is empty. Which also means that if I have, let's say, a civilian truck that is empty because it's civilian and I want a guy to get in it, all I have to do is do the same thing here again. Let me copy paste this guy. I do the same thing and I do this, get in nearest. There we go. And now this guy is in the truck. Now from here on out, from here on out, we can do another waypoint. We can tell him to get into that vehicle, drive up here, speed full, oh shit, speed full, he is safe, and then just like before, have him walk around or drive around. Last thing, cycle. So he gets into this vehicle, drives up here, starts moving around, and he cycles through. So he drives up here all the time now. That's the way we do it. It's very easy. Now, that is get in nearest waypoint. You can use this for any vehicle. You can use it for any thing that's empty, and then you can enter. Last thing we're going to talk about is placement radius. Very good tool as well. Let's say that these people are some sneaky motherfucking Hajis. They put down mines. Now, instead of having to put down mines in a specific spot, let's say I want one right here. Instead of having to do that, because if we play the mission again, we'll know where the fuck they are. So let's do a placement radius. Double click somewhere, choose empty. Let's go into mines, whatever the fuck that is, mines, and let's do an APERS mine, anti-personnel mine. Okay, now if we just click, we can see it here. It's like, it would literally be in that exact spot. But instead, what we're going to do is the placement radius, let's set that to 20 meters. So we get this ring around it, dashed ring around it, which means it will spawn within this radius, and it will spawn in a different location every time. So let's go ahead and put down some mines here. We can just copy paste it. There we go. Now we have 3 mines. It's a great way of putting down mines, doing IEDs and stuff like that. Again, this can be used for any object as well. If we want this truck to not be placed where it is right now, again, we can do 20 meters as well. The problem with this is that if this truck this time spawns over here, then the get in nearest waypoint is not really working. So we have to be careful when using stuff like this. It doesn't always work out. So for the most part, when you have stuff like get in nearest, spawn the truck static, which means in the same place all the time. That's the best way of doing it. Alright, part 3 is done. That's all you need to know.